Hey, DM Hayes here. We've got some new images from the Mighty Nine, which comes to Amazon Prime on November 19th. And I thought this was a perfect opportunity to create a what you need to know going into this show. For those who maybe love the Vox Machina, but have never actually watched the Critical Role live streams before. And if you haven't watched Vox Machina, I highly recommend you do so. It is a fantastic show. It gives you something to watch between now and November. It's seriously one of the best things that Amazon Prime has to offer right now. That is until the Mighty Nine comes out, which I think might be even better. So, no spoilers. Let's just go over the photos that have released and talk about the cast and a little bit who they are, but like I said, we're not going to get into spoiler territory. So for starters, before we get into the photos, what you do need to know is the Mighty Nine is based on Campaign 2 of Critical Role. Campaign 1 was Vox Machina. It is the same players and voice actors, just playing different characters this time around. I should note, too, that 9 is not a number. It's the German word for no. This is because Liam does a German accent as his character. He's just fascinated by the language and often cites his German teacher from when he was young as a mentor of his. So he peppers the language and uses the accent throughout the campaign.
Keiner von uns ist ein Teil einer Gang.
Because they're voice actors, they did what voice actors do and impersonate accents. It just became a running joke that anytime someone rolled a 9, they would do the 9 in his accent. So that was where the name came from. So Campaign 2 takes place within the world of Exandria, which is the same world as Vox Machina. However, it's about 20 years later and on the continent of Wildmount as opposed to Taldore, which is where Vox Machina live and go on adventures. One thing you need to know about the Mighty Nine is that they aren't really as heroic as their Taldore counterparts. They exist in more of a moral gray area and have the reluctant hero status. In my opinion, it makes them far more interesting. And I think most Critical Role fans would agree with me that Campaign 2 is actually a far better campaign. So I'm very much looking forward to this show. So let's go through the photos that dropped yesterday, starting with the ones of the Mighty Nine themselves. First, we've got Beauregard, or Bo, who is voiced and created by Marisha Ray. She was Keyleth in Vox Machina, and in this campaign, she is a monk. She hates authority and loves punching things.
You got nothing on me. I didn't even have a weapon. Unless you count these pythons.
And she is seen here holding Not the Brave, a little goblin woman played and created by Sam Riegel, aka Scanlan Shorthalt.
This is profiling, you racist assholes! Well, maybe not you, big boy.
She's a rogue, and she loves stealing, and she loves Caleb, who we will meet momentarily. And across from them is Molly Mock Tealeaf. Percy DeRollo's Taliesin Jaffe plays this tiefling, who is a blood hunter. Interestingly enough, is a class invented by Matt Mercer and famous nerd and TTRPG fan Vin Diesel. Diesel created his character from The Last Witch Hunter, which is a movie based on a D&D character that he homebrewed. And with the help of Mercer, they created the class for a Critical Role one-shot, and this version was eventually added to the official D&D Beyond catalog and edited and perfected over the years by Mercer, adding multiple subclasses and having multiple characters from Critical Role be blood hunters throughout the run of the first 3 campaigns.
Why would I turn the audience into reptiles? They pay my salary.
Here we have Liam O'Brien as Caleb, our favorite sad guy wizard that is canonically smelly, thanks to his first interaction with Laura Bailey's character. He played one of the twins in Vox Machina. He was Vax, the rogue, and personal friend of the Raven Queen. Much like Vax, he's kind of a sad guy. Liam is known for playing this type of characters, and Caleb is as sad as he gets. But it's also my favorite character from Vox Machina. I'm very much looking forward to seeing him in animation. And here we have his Vox Machina sister, Vex, seen here as Jester. That's Laura Bailey's character, the blue tiefling trickster cleric. A happy ball of sunshine and rainbows amongst a brooding cast of characters with a lot of darkness.
BT Dubs, your handcuffs are super janky. The ones Mama uses are so much harder to get out of. And fluffier.
And that's her real-life husband, Travis Willingham, playing Ford, the half-orc warlock. He's a sailor with a southern drawl and a lot of secrets.
I swear, their bodies changed.
Travis was Grog in Vox Machina. So this isn't a new picture from the ones that were released yesterday. But so far, I believe this is the only look we've gotten at Yasha. That's Ashley Johnson's character, a.k.a. Pike. An Aasimar barbarian. Aasimar are an angelic race from D&D. She has cool wings. She was missing a lot during this campaign, much like Pike was in Campaign 1, so they had to work around her frequent absences in both seasons, and it seems like they're doing that in the show as well. This was because she was a regular on the show Blind Spot, which shot in New York, so she spent much of her year there. She was, however, fully present for the last 50 episodes or so of Campaign 2, and she was in full-time for Campaign 3, which we will get to if we ever see a Bell's Hells animated series. Let's get to some of these side characters. Like Yasha, this isn't a new picture, but this is Essek, who will be played by our GM, Matt Mercer. This character isn't supposed to appear so soon in the series, but he was canonically working behind the scenes from the start, and since the original story was told from the perspective of our player characters, they didn't know that that was happening, so neither did the audience. But now that it's a show, they can show us kind of what Essek was doing in the past, and I imagine that's mostly because he is a fan favorite NPC. So they want to get him in as early as possible for the fans. And the reason, if you're wondering why he's such a fan favorite NPC, it's because he is our favorite hot boy. And here we have Dairon. She is Bo's mentor. She's an expositor of the Cobalt Soul, which is a group of monks that love libraries and punching things. If you've seen the clip that they've released from Vox Machina, the new season, they are talking about the Cobalt Soul in this clip.
The Cobalt Archive is a high-security library of sacred texts. Its core vault houses the most ancient and important relics, including our scroll, which is tightly guarded by an elite force of warrior monks.
Dairon will be played by Ming-Na Wen, the first of several Disney princesses announced to be on this season. She played Mulan, and she was also on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and many other things. This is Marion Lavore. She's Jester's mom, a famous courtesan and performer for classy and upscale people from Wildmount. She has a lot of anxiety and is agoraphobic. Makes for some very interesting character arcs for her. She will be played by another Disney princess. She is Tiana from The Princess and the Frog, Anika Noni Rose. And here we have Alan Cummings of Cabaret, X-Men, and The Traitors fame. He will be playing Gustav, a ringmaster of the circus act that kicks off this adventure and brings our anti-heroes together. I'm a little disappointed with this because when I heard Alan Cummings was on the show, I was really hoping that he'd be the Traveler, but looks like he is the circus ringmaster, which is a fun character, just not an important one. And here we have Vandrin, played by Tim McGraw, which is great. He is Ford's former captain and is entirely absent from the beginning of the campaign. But it looks like the show is showing us some of the days leading up to the first session. We've seen Ford and Jester meeting in clips from the show.
My apologies.
Oh, handsome hero, please save me.
And they were already traveling together when the Critical Role campaign started. I imagine that's why we'll see Vandrin early, because we're going to see a little bit of what happened right before the session started. And this piece of absolute garbage is Trent Inkathon. I don't want to get into spoilers, but you should know we hate him. He is the former mentor of Caleb and a significant antagonist to the Mighty Nine. He's being played by Mark Strong, which is incredible casting. I love me some Mark Strong. Lastly, our third princess is Moana Auli'i Cravalho. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. She will be playing Toya, an early minor character that works at Gustav's circus. We will be getting a singing performance from this character, so that casting is really great, as obviously she sang in Moana. And she also plays Janice in the Mean Girls musical adaptation. And I know for a fact that D&D has a lot of crossover with theater kids, so you guys are on the same page. You know who I'm talking about. If you're wondering anything else about the Mighty Nine or even Vox Machina, feel free to comment below with questions and like and subscribe for more D&D content. And with Campaign 4 launching tonight and Mighty Nine Season 1 and Legend of Vox Machina Season 4 coming, you can likely expect more Critical Role content from me as well. And that's where we will end our session. Goodbye.